Good Vibe Tribe. Welcome back to another podcast of Road to Fitness. Today, I had an interesting idea, and I'm gonna go with it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be how to plan out your meal prep and your grocery shopping. I think one of the biggest things, especially even when I started meal prepping in the beginning, you hear people talk about it, and since we're on the subject, this is kind of how. Oops. This is how kind of meal prepping is looked at. Like people look at pictures and they're like, oh, you know, you got just basic food, chicken, rice, some sort of veggie like broccoli. Obviously, over time, people are getting more creative. You know what I mean? But these are pretty typical. Squash, sweet potato, asparagus, broccoli, rice, beans. That's kind of like the idea of meal prepping. It's pretty just generally there, like always the same but cooked differently, which I'm not against. If like I meal prep for a while in the past, and I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I actually enjoyed the food I ate, but I think after a while you just crave other things, and you're like, dang man, what am I gonna eat? So today I will start with how to choose your meals, because the way I'm gonna do it is going to be that all of my ingredients are going to be used for the next meal, if that makes sense. So, that being said, you know, let me give you an idea of what I mean. You could do this on a piece of paper, you could do this on a computer, on an Excel file. I prefer Excel files, but you know, paper's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So, as you may know from the previous podcast or just general information, every meal you want to have a protein. Oop, you know you want to have a protein. Dang man, this microphone in front of me is kind of obstructing my senses. A carb and a fat, right? Protein being some sort of meat or some sort of vegetarian choice or vegan choice that's gonna have protein on it. Honestly, all of my meals are gonna have meat. So if you are vegan or vegetarian, kind of just I might throw some ideas out there, but all of my meals that I'm gonna post right now are gonna have meat. As far as a carb, those are easy because our carbs are in everything. But what I'm saying is aim for some veggies. You know what I mean? And then so get your carbs from veggies, and then fats. I think that's gonna be the harder one for people. But all right, my first uh my first thought process when I'm making, when I'm meal prepping, is what are my meals, right? So honestly, on the weekends you can call those cheat days. 2 cheat days, you eat whatever, like go out to eat or cook random stuff at home, whatever. Or you could even cheat at home. So plan out what you're gonna eat at home, but without like it being planned out like a meal prep. So I mean, like if you want to have burgers on the weekend, you could buy some stuff, whatever. But we're gonna do day one, day two, and I'll separate these as I go down the list. That is gonna get to me if I don't do it a space, honestly. I'm gonna do 5 days. I typically, and then you got also obviously think about, okay, well, how many times do you eat a day? Like me personally, I eat 2 times. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry too much about like many meals. And I don't eat 2 times because I planned it that way. That's just how, we all know life is just complicated. You know what I mean? So you can just plan. That's the other thing, right? Meal prepping. A lot of people do like, 1 meal, 2 meals, 3 meals, 5 meals, and a lot of times they go to waste because you don't finish all the meals. But plan it according to your lifestyle and your what you can eat. You know what I mean? So if you yourself know that you typically eat like 2 or 3 times a day, just make sure those meals that you're about to make sense. So day one, meal one, meal two. Oop, that space is getting me, huh? All right, so I'm gonna copy these and just paste them down here, and then to differentiate the um the meal from the day outline, I'm just gonna bold that so we have ourselves a bolded days and regular meal colors for now. And then we'll make boxes if whatever. So my meal one, and obviously you can make um multiple servings for the one meal, right? So if I have, let's say, and I wrote this up here for no relevance to coincide with this, but if you're gonna make um the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you're gonna make 10 meals. You don't have to make 10 different meals. That just means you're having 10 meals. So it could be 5 meals options, and have them twice in the week. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna make five meals. So meals meaning for the day over here on the day side, but here I'm gonna write what those meals are gonna be. So since I said I'm gonna have 5 meals, I'm gonna just write those here. But I'm gonna call them option one. That way we don't get too confused with the wording. Option two, option three, option four, option five. All right. So now it's pretty basic. You think about, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? And I always go with 3 main things, right? Or maybe 4. But go with go with some sort of shredded. I'm gonna write these down just cause. Some sort of shredded option. Some sort of, let's call it a broth option. And then let's go with like I don't know what to call it, because you could do seared or you could do fry. Let's call it a pan option, because we can usually cook these on a pan or the oven or something. So that being said, I say shredded because I'm thinking to myself, I'm using a meat for multiple meals, right? So let's say this. My first option, I'm going to call it, which it is. It's going to be ramen. So for my ramen, I need my protein. I need my carb. And I need my fat. My options. My main dish, you could say. So what are the ingredients, right? I'm gonna go with chicken, just because I want to put the chicken on the slow cooker eventually. So let's just save that for later. But I want to go with like a chicken. You can do chicken, beef, or pork. Doesn't matter. So my chicken, My carb is gonna be obviously the noodle, so I'll probably go with the soba noodle. So that's my carb, and then obviously I am gonna put some veggies on it, which are not too crazy. Put some jalapeno, cause I like spicy food. Probably not some broccoli. Could do some broccoli. So this is what I mean, right? You pick your protein, you pick your ingredients, so like your carbs and all that, and then make sure that whatever you choose here, besides the soba noodle, but whatever you use here, you can also incorporate on your other meals. So for the fat, obviously it's just the oil. So I'll probably do some grapeseed if I need to. Um, that's we'll see. Anyway, soba noodle, jalapeno, broccoli, some. Can I use green onions and some other things? Probably not. I could do a stir fry. So green onion. All right. So let's keep it simple for that. Just about. And then honestly, I'll probably throw an egg in there. All right. So we got 2 protein sources. Got some carb sources, which are, a starch of some sort, and then a bunch of veggies, and then fat. Honestly, just my grapeseed. Honestly, for fat for me it's different. It's complicated. I like fat, so I'd be putting butter or whatever. So anyway, so all right, we got our option 1. We gotta come up with 4 more options, right? So this is where you start to look at your first dish and think about, okay, I had chicken on my previous one. When you make chicken ramen, you can, make the chicken on the slow cooker and have that chicken broth for the ramen. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, if you're making broth, chicken broth for ramen on the slow cooker, you're gonna end up with either bones or slow cooked vegetables or just shredded chicken. So now we could okay, cool. We know that because we made ramen, we're gonna have shredded chicken left over from that broth. So let's go with some shredded chicken type of meal. Immediately, I just think about Chipotle. I don't know what, like tacos, enchiladas, or whatever, quesadillas. It don't matter. I'm just gonna call it Chipotle tacos. Chipotle chicken tacos. That's why my chicken is here. So as you remember, because I made ramen broth for the chicken ramen broth, I ended up with shredded chicken that I had used for the broth. So we're gonna use that for our Chipotle chicken tacos. You don't necessarily need a second protein source for this, but you couldn't go with obviously your other stuff. So I buy a big pound, 8-pound bag of rice. So shouldn't be a problem just to use rice as my grain. And that's the other thing too. If you can buy some things in bulk, that'd be fantastic. Because then you could use those whenever without having to worry about buying groceries all the time. Because you have that container of whatever you saved in bulk. All right. I can still use jalapenos. So that's fantastic. All right. I could still use chicken top. I mean, I could do broccoli on the side, but I don't know if I would want that with my tacos. And so let's see. I got my side, which is my rice. I got jalapenos in my tacos. Let's do what else do I want for my side? If I'm thinking about Chipotle tacos, you could even go online and look for ideas, right? Chipotle chicken tacos. I mean, yeah, it's pretty basic, man. It's nothing really side ideas. Yeah, really nothing, man. Just the taco itself, max out. The rice itself is the side. You know what I mean? But alright, that's cool. Yeah, pretty basic. There you go. Got yourself some rice, some jalapeno for the actual taco itself. You could do the broccoli if you wanted to, just to have an extra, a little bit of greens on there. Why not? It's not necessary, but you could. And then you got. I'll probably cook this with although it was already cooked on the slow cooker, I would still kind of fry it, probably with some butter. All right, that's two meals, man. We got some ramen and we have some chipotle tacos. So far, we got some good meals, and we don't have to worry about nothing yet. It might be in a little bit, but nothing nothing yet is the traditional, you know, chicken broccoli and rice. All right, you don't even need. Oh, you know what? Not rice, tortilla. I'm tripping. All right, tortilla. Replace the rice with the tortilla because that's what you're gonna be using as your. All right, right. And honestly, if you go out there, let me see if I find some actually. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried, and I wouldn't use these as like don't go to the store and buy these and then be like, man, these don't taste like the tortillas I'm used to, because it's true, they're not going to. Like I bought different types of low carb tortillas, and some of them taste disgusting. So some of them are good though. I'm not. Some of them are really good, which is like kind of amazing because they just taste like a flour tortilla with a slightly different taste. Like this low carb. I don't know if I don't think I like it, but I've had other ones that like I can't remember. It's one of these like brown looking ones that I don't like. Or was it this one? I think it was this one. It was this one I didn't like. Um, but there's other ones that they make that are low carb tortillas, and they'll probably have like a solid, you know, 10, 5 grams of net carbs. So that being said, don't be depending on how many carbs we're gonna look at in the end. Once we make the grocery list, is it's kind of what you should go for, either a regular tortilla and how many tacos you're gonna have, or a low carb and a high carb, whatever the case. We'll see in the end. Right now we're just looking at the meals. All right, so we made ramen, we made chipotle tacos. Now we could look into the different ingredients that we got. So we still have eggs because we bought eggs for ramen. We still have broccoli and green onion. So I'm thinking about a stir fry. You'll notice that I like chicken a lot. You could do a seafood actually. Yeah, let's do a shrimp stir fry. My wife likes shrimp. All right, shrimp stir fry. Our main thing, shrimp. Actually, I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's the same difference. Stir fry. All right. But anyway, so we could use our egg here. For more protein, we could use our. We could either do noodles or we could do some rice. We know we have rice, so we'll do that as our like side for the stir fry. But now it's when it comes to the sides here. Our broccoli, green onion, and honestly, onion you could use on any of these. You know, you could even do onion on that if you wanted to. So we got green onion, broccoli. Honestly, probably still those jalapenos. Um, that could be a pretty basic stir fry, and then you could do I don't know what you would want to use. I'm a huge I like butter, man. It's got a different flavor to it. It's amazing. Why not? And you're gonna have the butter anyway. You don't want that to go to waste. All right. So now, two more meals. we still got a little bit of. So far these have kind of complemented each other. So this is where we can go to like so we've had a broth type of meal, we've had shredded type of meal, and then pan fried type of meal. You can really go anywhere with these last two meals. You can still have. So we had ramen, we had tacos, and we had stir fry. You can go into like one of your favorite meals. One of my favorites is ramen, so that's why I put it down. But you can go look back into your own personal favorite meals and try to look and think about what do you want to make. And then when we make the grocery list, that's when it'll come down to, okay, you know, this is how much of everything it should be. So it's a healthier meal versus just, I'm just making this. So for me, I'm going to something I've been wanting to make. What was it? It's like a Mexican dish. I think they're called different. They're called different in different places. But these right here, why not? I'm gonna try to make them and try to make it a complete meal. So, and you know, if you don't know how to cook it, it's all good, man. It's all good. Just give it a shot. See how it comes out. So I mean, obviously, this is gonna be my carb is the flour. Let's do Usually, I think these are gonna be like nice because pork rinds. So these right here. Dang, I put rings. I keep putting in rings. Pork rinds. A lot of people use these for that. Skin, pork skin, fried pork skin. So, um, you can buy it from a bag like these. That they sell these bags anywhere. Or you go to a Mexican grocery store and buy the one they have, basically fresh, which I would recommend. It's pretty cheap, but that's a protein source. It's literally like eating pork. All right. Then we have our let's do onion just cause. Let's do cabbage, which you could also do cabbage over here on your ramen too. So as you add ingredients to your meals, you could you could always add them to the other meals too. I could do cabbage on the tacos too, as a as a little topping. Like, where was it? Like as this stuff, you know. So you can make your own little cabbage situation. Obviously, jalapeno. I'll probably do this out here too. And then the jalapeno could be used for either topping or the salsa too. So we're not wasting any ingredients, man. And I'm keeping the ingredients. I'm not even putting the seasonings in here because I'm not, I'm not gonna go super into depth. I'm just keeping it simple. But you could always look up recipes online. But anyway, so I'm just going for the main protein, carbs, and fats, right? So we got the meal, the ingredient of protein, the ingredients of carbs, and the ingredient of fats. This, I mean, honestly, I'd probably use something like lard to make the actual dough or whatever this is, and then fry it with probably the same thing. So let's go. Now that I know I have flour, and then here, let me actually. Let me actually see. I mean, it depends on how big they are, honestly. 21 is 26 grams of carbs. Okay. So, I mean, here's the thing, though. They make them with flour for the most part. Yeah. Maybe cornmeal or rice flour. So that's the thing, right? Where if I were to make them with flour, it's 26 grams. If I go and buy like what are we talking here? In the kitchen. In my youngin'. Alright, this didn't help. This didn't help at all. Let's check it out here. WebMD's, WebMD's Nourish, Trader Joe's flour, almond. Let's say four, cause let's say 1 cup, 20 grams. Dang, 1 cup is 20 grams, so that means like cooked, cause it expands if you write, you know what I mean. Or good condensed, but if you depending on the ingredients you could put on it, that's not bad. And then all that fat, bro. That's actually a lot of fat. Flour, almond juice. Okay, so 0.25 cups. That's actually a lot of. That's 4 servings though. But anyway, point is, all I'm trying to say is you could use a regular flour, or you could look for these kind of flours that are lower carb flours from different sources, and that means you would it might not taste exactly the same, but we don't know. I've never made them with a different flour, but we can make them, try them, and see how they taste with that different flour. And if they're good, they're good. If they're not, then I know they weren't good, and then try them next time. Because honestly, one or two usually fill you up. Those plates that they had on the pictures, I don't know how could people eat like that much, man. One or two fill you up. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. And that's like what, 25 grams of carb for the one. You'll be all right. Trust me, they're big. Some of them you can make them. Yeah, that's the thing. You can make them smaller too, but they're big. You can get full with one or two, man. I think the second one would be like overload for me. I'll be like in the middle of eating it and be like, oh, I don't know if I can finish this. You know? You'll be alright. Alright. Alright, so the last meal, we have some pork rinds. We have we have shrimp. Alright. Cool. Let's go classic then. Let's go classic. Let's do a classic dish. A meal prep dish, just because, keep it in the in the family, you know what I mean? Just do I'm just gonna call it dish. Alright. So for this, I'm gonna go ahead and do we call it dinner dish. Yeah, dish was too simple. Alright. It doesn't have to be dinner, but say chicken. I like chicken. I told you already. Literally rice. And then broccoli. Whoa. I'm tripping. What do I feel like I'm not? Dude. Why do I feel like I'm not typing broccoli right? That's probably why I'm like tripping, because my brain's not letting me. My brain's like, nah, that's not right. Well, welcome to the podcast where we learn how to type. Nah, man. Why didn't nobody catch me on this? Broccoli. Alright. So we got chicken, rice, and broccoli. Super simple. One thing I do is people underestimate the power of seasonings. So let's just use this. Season packaging for chicken. People underestimate these. You know what I mean? They have so many different types of seasonings that you can make a delicious meal. You know what I mean? Typically, I go with the Grill Mates, honestly, McCormick's, but I look for different ones. Whatever I find, honestly, that looks good is what I get. But that being said, just go to the seasoning section and either buy yourself. I usually start off with the packet, and then if the packet's like, oh, that was pretty good, dish, then you could look for the bottle, because you know that you're gonna like that. But don't underestimate the power of these seasonings, because that just makes your meal go from like chicken, rice, and broccoli to chicken, rice, and broccoli. You know what I mean? And it doesn't feel like chicken, rice, and broccoli. It feels like a good ass meal. So season the chicken. As far as the rice goes, I'm thinking that I'm gonna make like I don't know if I want to make a pilaf rice. It's too creamy sometimes. I might make like a Cajun rice. Yeah, maybe. And then the chicken would be like my main thing. The Cajun rice would be like the side thing. So that being said, you know, they sell some small do a little sausage. But they sell some small like packets that you could like freeze for the next meal prep too. So if you have any leftovers, freeze it. Not leftover made food, but leftover like prepackaged stuff. You know, freeze it and then you can use it again in the next week, so you don't make anything go to waste. I'll probably just make it basic, man. Nothing too crazy on it. Just a basic, basic rice. And all of these ingredients I'll probably incorporate whatever's left over into the rice. So that being said, I'll just kind of do this then. There you go. I don't know about cabbage though. Just onion, green onion, broccoli. Yeah. I don't know about cabbage. That'd be kind of might be pretty good actually. Cause when I ate some fried rice before, it's got cabbage and that's pretty good too. But we'll see. Point is, we got our meal options. So basically, you would have those, you know, distributed between your days here. You know, like when are you gonna have them? You don't have to do it as precise as this. You know, like oh, I'm gonna have them on these days. Um, these specific days. You could literally just make it, put it on your fridge, and whenever you're feeling it, grab whatever you're feeling. Just grab the one that's made. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like this where you're like, oh, this day I'm having this and this day I'm having this. It doesn't have to be that intense. Just make them. Make them, put them on the fridge, and then go with your day. I would say one of the meals, for sure, put on your refrigerated area, and then one day worth of meals. So you know, half of the week put in the refrigerator, so half of the meal servings, and then the other half put it in the freezer, so that it doesn't all go bad and get nasty and whatnot. Cause it's a lot of food, man, and you don't want it to go to waste. All right, so we got our options here. We got 5 meals on the weekends. I'm probably just gonna go out to eat or get a couple of little random things to like, you know, make on the weekend. But we already know what the meals are. I think I'm gonna actually put this back where it was because I separated these. All right. Anyway, the days and the meal options. The meal options of what ingredients are gonna be on there. So now, the grocery list. All right. So when I go buy groceries, I don't know about you guys if you're that I don't know if you guys are that intense about how you shop, but I like to keep my refrigerated area items together, my like pantry items together. Like I kind of even when they're bagging them, I align them with my bagging so that like I align them on the belt so like if they're checking me out, you know, they bag them in the order I put them in. Cause I don't know, I have a thing about it, and when I shop, I like to do that too. Cause you know when you're shopping, Why would you go for one thing at the end of the aisle and then go to another aisle and then come real close to the aisle you were just at? Like, it doesn't make sense. It's a waste of time. So, just like we picked up here protein, carbs, and fats, we're basically going to do that down here, man. You know? So, when you shop, got a protein. We're going to buy chicken. We're going to buy shrimp, eggs, shrimp, eggs, pork, rind, proc. All right. Bold it out for now. So we're gonna buy chicken, shrimp, eggs, and pork rinds. For this, real quick, let's see. We're gonna make 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 meals we're making with this chicken. So I'm just gonna put a 6 next to it just to keep it in my brain. Gotta make 2 meals with the shrimp, 2 meals with the 4 meals with the eggs. Yeah, and then 2 meals with the pork rinds. So if we're gonna generally kind of use the if you're meal prepping, you're most likely meal prepping to lose weight, gain muscle, or something, right? So in this sense, I'm gonna keep it general. Like, I'm gonna keep it like on a general number, of grams. So if you're meal prepping for yourself and you're watching this video or listening to the podcast, make sure that you calculate your own numbers based off what you want to do. But I am going to put a general number that should be good for anybody just to be healthy. So I'm going to keep it like in the 20. The protein, I'm going to keep it in the 20 gram range per meal, right? So that being said, chicken is 6 different meals. So that means that 20 times 6 is what I need. So chicken, if you go why is everything broiler and fryer, bro? What's going on, man? I'm gonna do a chicken. I use chicken tender a lot because they're smaller and they're, breast baked butterball, chicken 10 spice piece Arby's, without skin, bone, cooked, boiled, frozen. Dang, man, this is it's too much work, bro. What's going on? Chicken tender, protein, grams. All right. 11 grams of protein for what's the 4 pieces of 62 grams? What's the ounces, bro? Oh, these are the goodness gracious chicken tenders. Like, they're literally, you gotta be kidding, chicken fingers. Nah. I'm gonna stick with this. All right, let me see. Raw chicken tender, loin. Just gonna do the actual word because chicken tender loin cooked. Foster Farms frozen lean cuisine. Lean cuisine. What's going on with this though, man? You know what I mean? I'm gonna go with the old school calorie counter. Google. Fitness and health, very well fit. Apple apps. I know this used to be one that I used to use a lot, but they probably don't even got a. They don't even got a website, huh? They used to have a website. Bruh. I don't know, man. It's gonna be complicated. Calorie calculator. Healthy eating facts. Yeah, those look pretty dope. My calorie counter. Oh no, that's it's one of those. It's one of them's. It's one of them's. All right, let's just do chicken, protein, grams. Doesn't even have to be chicken tender, whatever. Now there you go. See, this is easy. So 1 cup. Nah. Let's go with 1 unit. 1 cup chopped and diced. Why they gotta be so extra though, man? You know what I mean? Like this. Like, why can't you just do grams, like ounces? You know? Sheesh. They gotta do a cup. These guys, man. Anyway, this is the one I was looking for. So there are about 7 grams of protein in 1 ounce of cooked meat. All right. So for example, 4 ounces of raw boneless chicken. Here's about 3 ounces of chicken and 21 grams of protein. So let's just say there's about 20 grams in 4 ounces. So, yeah. 14, yep. Okay. So, let's just go with 4 ounces equals 20 grams. And remember, most of these meals, you're not just going to have a little 4-ounce piece of chicken. You're incorporating it in your meal. So it's like, don't be like, oh man, that's not a lot of chicken. It's not, but when you're eating it as a meal, it should be fine. So 4 ounces is not a lot, but what we're gonna do is, like I said, we need 20 grams times 6. So I'm gonna go to pounds, right? So we need 6 of those 4-ounce servings. So if we go 4 ounces into pounds, you're gonna notice that that's a quarter pound. So if we say we need 6, so 4 times 6, right? We need 6 of those. So we're gonna probably need 1.5 pounds. Oh shit, 1.5 pounds of chicken. You know what I mean? Alright. Which is not a lot of chicken, man. It's not a lot. So now that we know we need 1.5 pounds, which is probably not the amount of chicken you eat. I'm sure you eat a lot more chicken than that. And like I said, this is just a general number. 20 grams is not what you need all the time. It depends how active you are. If you're gaining weight, losing weight, your size, your weight, you know, so kind of look up in your own way, like how many grams of protein I need per day. But honestly, that's a pretty perfect amount, considering that a lot of these other things are going to have a little bit of protein in them too. So keep that in mind. We are used to, like, if you have ever traveled the country or looked up or searched or know more about different countries, our serving sizes are significantly larger than most people, which is why we're the leading obese. But we have some significantly large serving sizes compared to other places. So just make sure you understand that it's not just like, man, you know, what the hell? That's not a lot. I'm not used to that, but that's okay. Just work your way down from it, or start like here. You know what I mean? All right. So for shrimp, it should be about the same. So honestly, what I'm gonna do, cause shrimp could last me a while, is probably buy a 1 pound bag of shrimp. Well, actually, I don't even have to type the whole like chicken word in there. All right. So eggs is a little different because they're individually in there. You know, like it's a dozen eggs. Each egg has a different amount. I think each egg has about, yeah. I think each egg is about the same as like one ounce of meat, which is like about 6 grams or something. Egg, protein, grams. Yeah, 6 grams. All right. So this one is like, remember, the egg was not the primary meal portion. So literally, literally one egg is okay. You know what I mean? I just add one egg per meal, so you need, 4 eggs, like literally. And that sounds goofy and funny, but they do sell half dozen. Um, they do sell half dozen boxes. I'm gonna see. Yeah, these little guys, 75 cents. Save some. I'm about to save you some monies, bruh. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna be so freaking hungry, bro. All right, pork rinds. Honestly, all right. Let me show you. Let me show you. What it looks like when we buy it in the Mexican stores. Yeah, I think it's. Let's see. I am looking for. It looks something like this. That's like yeah, baby. I mean, it looks like this, but it's like a big, big, big. Um, it looks like a big chunk. Alright, well, it's not showing it, but it's like a big sheet. Like literally, it's like they. I'm sorry, but it sounds like they literally just peeled the pig and they grabbed the whole big skin piece and threw it in there. It's like a big. It's big. So just buy like a pound, man. Just a pound. You know what I mean? All right, 2 meals of that. And a pound might be a little too much, but like this is why I say buy a pound. Some people eat it like, and I'm sure just like these bags. Some people eat it as a snack. So whatever, just go wild. There's no carbs on that thing, so go ahead, do your thing. All right. So we know how much we're buying in pounds of meat. So when you go to the grocery store now, all you have to buy is this, and you look at it and you're like, man, that's not a lot of freaking meat. It's not, but that's okay, cause that's all you need for those 5 days. All right. So then let's go for the veggies. So we got taken care of all this top things here. All the sausage. We don't need the sausage for this, honestly. I just put it there to make the rice a little more delicious, but it's not necessary. All right. The veggies. Oh, let's do the grains actually. All right. The grains is gonna be the soba, and I usually buy this just one pack. It's one pack. Um, the grocery stores like more like localish grocery stores, not usually Target in them, but like more like local grocery stores have these. Um, you can go to H Mart, they have them. Mitsuwa has them, but if I don't know if there's a Mitsuwa by you, um, you know, Oriental stores, but also like normal grocery stores will have these. Let me see if they. Let me see. I can show you which one I get. You know what? I've seen them at Walmart. Now that I think about it, yeah, yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the ones I buy. I've seen like these at Walmart. Well, I've never had these though, so I can't really attest to that. I buy the ones in the refrigerated area. These right here, yeah. So I usually get like this style of noodle that's in the refrigerator. Um, and that's what I buy for my ramen. So yeah, kind of keep an eye out for these type of Instacart. I guess Instacart has them, so go ahead, order away. These are at Walmart. I've never seen these. Huh, that's interesting. All right. So then soba noodle, just one pack. Tortilla, same, one pack. You're not gonna finish a bunch of packs, even if it's for. We're here. Let's go back track and see how many meals. This is gonna be 2 meals for the. Oops. That's the same though. 2 meals for that. Two meals for everything really. The rice is the one that like I told you you could just, if you don't want to buy a big old bag, you could buy a small little bag. So it's 4 meals, and then obviously the flour. It's just 2 meals. All right. So let's see. We said tortilla, rice, flour. All right. So literally 1 pack for everything. 1 pack for everything. That's just 1 pack of soba, 1 pack of tortilla. Well, it depends on the soba. Usually the ones I get have like 4 serving packets in there, maybe three serving packets. So depending on the amount of like serving packets it has, you can just get that. Sometimes I get the one that's just like a big bag. But honestly, you won't need more than anything. 1 pack of rice, if you do like a pound of rice, a little bag, whatever. Unless you get the big one. As far as serving wise for this one, um, same, about the same amount. Let's do 20 to 30 grams, which is kind of a lot if you go to the 30 point, but it's alright. That could be about a half a cup to, look. Alright, 1 cup of rice will be 41, so that's a lot. So stick with like quarter cup, half a cup. And you might tell yourself, man, that's not a lot. But if you go to stores that have those different grains set up around the store, there is some that have the different options of rice. Some rice does have less carbs, not by a lot, but it makes a little bit of a difference being able to eat a cup. But that's not the point. The point is keep it to like half a cup ish. If you come up here, it's stir fry, so a lot of it is gonna be like shrimp, veggies, and some rice. So don't worry about the rice too much. That's just part of the meal. Eat it as a whole. Don't think about it as the main course or the main item of the meal. Everything works together. But yeah, so you can do a whole big that whole quarter cup, half a cup. I used to do quarter cup. It didn't feel like a lot, but you'll get used to it. I think one of the biggest things that we have misconception in or misunderstanding in is that when you eat, you're not supposed to be full. You know what I'm saying? Start getting in the mindset of you're eating to not be hungry anymore. You know what I mean? Like eat enough to where you're satisfied, but not full. Full means you overdid it. So just think about that. Start eating when you eat to be satisfied. Like eat to not be hungry anymore. It's the biggest tip I could give you. Eat so you're not hungry anymore, but don't eat to get full. Same flour 1 pack. All right. So we got the soba, tortilla, the flour, and the rice out the way. Okay. This is where the veggies come in. And this is cool, man. Whatever, you might go home with a little tiny bit of groceries and you're gonna be like, what? Like, my cart's so empty, bro. Trust me, that's all you need. Make the meals. You'll be okay. It might get some getting used to, and you might be like, man, I'm hungry. But in the end, I'll give you some little ideas for some snacks or whatever you can eat. All right, veggies. Got jalapeno. Got broccoli. We got green onion. We got onion. Got cabbage. That's it. Alright. So I would say just go crazy with just go crazy with the veggies, man. Doesn't matter. All of the ones we got here are not even almost any carbs that are bad for you. Like literally everything is good. Oh, let me see. So jalapenos, we're gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2. That's 8 jalapenos. Broccoli, 1, 2. So honestly, broccoli, grab like 2 to 3 bunches, But don't overdo it. There's times when I used to buy like so much broccoli that it would go bad because I would buy too much because I thought I was gonna eat too much, but I ended up getting full pretty fast. Broccoli is super full of good stuff, but it's also really full of fiber, so it should fill you up pretty well. Green onion, just buy one bunch, one little like handful. Onions, 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2. Yeah, just buy like. See, when you're like looking at these things, like look at your meal, right? Tacos, you're not gonna put a lot of onion on it. Stir fry, you're not gonna put a lot of onion. Not gonna put a lot of onion. So maybe like half an onion per meal, so like 2 onions. And then cabbage, just one cabbage. All right. And then your fats. Some of the foods are gonna have fats, but like these are your cooking fats, right? This is how you're gonna get your main sources of fat. Just buy a bottle, grapeseed. And if you don't want grapeseed, that's cool. You don't gotta get that. And you don't have to keep buying these. It's not like you're gonna run out of grapeseed oil when you when you do this grocery list every week or whatever. And then lard. All right, just one pack, one container. Just one pack. Just call it one pack just to keep it. I don't know what I want them to be capital letters when I start. Alright. So we have our grocery list right here. We have our proteins, which we're really basically getting about like 3 pounds of meat altogether. We're getting some like 1 pack of grains, and then we're getting 1 pack of fats. It's literally not that much food, but it's making 10 meals. You know what I mean? If I didn't do the math right, let me know, but it should be pretty legit. All this right here is 10 meals, man. Isn't that crazy? You would think. Let's see here. I want to look at something. Meal prep. If you go to meal prep pictures, you will notice that that's basically a meal. You know what I mean? It's not that much. That's a vegetarian one. Like this person has like maybe 6 shrimp in there, some stuff in there, a little bit of chicken, a little bit of rice, a little bit of veggies. Like this is a meal, man. You know what I mean? Like that's not that much food, and it's not a big deal. Like once you get used to it, you'll know that like you don't need that much food. Here's the problem I have with here's where it gets complicated though. And I want to say this since I finished this and you're like, bro, that's not a lot of food. You're right. This is based off of per meal, of how many grams you should have per meal. Remember when we started the video, I said, do you eat 2 times a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, right? That's also gonna determine how much more protein grams, carb grams, grains you can have. So if you are, let's say you're a person that weighs 120 pounds, right? Let's just assume that, let's just go more normal. Let's say you weigh 160 pounds, right? Sometimes people, what they do is they times that by 10. So that means you could have 1,600 calories. This is a totally different podcast I should be doing, but I want to spell break, Apex, Warzone. This guy. What's up, Joel? But yeah, so like I told you guys before, 30, 40, 30. It's what people kind of go with. Look, this part right here is a little too much. I probably shouldn't be going into it, but I want to make sure that you're not under eating as well. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm going to give you the snacks to just kind of munch on throughout the day. Because if you eat one time a day, this is definitely not enough food. If you eat 2 times a day, it might not be enough food. You know what I mean? So, that being said, I'm just going to give you kind of an idea. So, if we're going to eat 30%, 40%, 30%, 30 protein, 40 carbs, 30 fat. What that basically means here is, let's see, yeah, 1600 calories. We're minusing 30% for for protein. That's minus 480. So that's 480 grams of, 480 calories. So I'm going to do protein, carb, and fat. I don't really want to talk about this right now. I said it was its own podcast, but I really don't want you to undereat either. 640, 480. All right. So now we have, that's the amount of calories you need to eat for that specific scenario. So when you look, 1 gram protein into calories. 1 gram of protein into calories. Oh, look at that. It's probably giving the whole thing. See how legit this is? That is true for fat. Yeah, that's pretty true. That's legit. I'm down. Yeah, they didn't lie to us. But yeah, 480 calories. If you divide that by 4, grams of protein is what should we call it? A gram of protein is 4 calories. If you divide the 480 by 4, because you got 480 calories in each gram is 4, so that means you have 120 grams of protein. I know that sounded kind of chopped off, but that's where we're at right now. 480 calories. Each 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So you divide 480 divided by 4 because of the protein grams of calories. That's 120 grams of protein. 120 grams of protein divided by your meals. So let's say you eat 3 times a day. That's 40 grams of protein per meal. Here's where it gets tricky. That's 3 times a day. This is why I don't want to talk about it yet, but where it gets tricky is what I gave you. Each meal should have 60 grams of protein. Technically, we can't absorb that amount usually if we're not active, if you're not working out and all that stuff. If you choose to follow your meal plan, kind of use this calculation here. Hopefully you're watching the video of knowing at least. Here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna do the math of how many grams of protein you need per day based off of, this is the person's weight, 160 pounds. Really? That's weird. There you go. That's times 10. I'm gonna do the times 10 equals calories. All right, and then that's I'm gonna do 30%, 40%, 30%. This 30 40 30 is like a general, like I'm generalizing all of this just to kind of help you out a little bit because I don't want you to undereat. Undereating is as bad as overeating. Just remember that. Anyway, so 480 divided by 4, so 120 calories. I mean, grams of protein. 640 divided by also 4, so 160 grams of carbs. And the last thing here is going to be divided by 9. It's 53 grams of fat. Oops. Alright. So you need 30%, 40%, 30%. That would mean for the day, you need 120 grams of protein, 160 grams of carbs, and 153 grams of fat. So this is technically what you would need over here. So if each meal should have 20 grams of protein, how many meals should you have? You know what I'm saying? This is where like supplements could come in, and you're like, man, or you could I don't know if I want you to uptake the amount of grams per meal. And I say that because, you know, you gotta think about like a funnel. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're putting let's say oil on your car, or any liquid on a funnel, or I guess powder. It'll go down the funnel if you do the right amount, and it'll go down, and then so that's just how the body works, you know what I mean? If you overdo it, it's gonna overflow, which means it's just gonna turn into something. You know, it might just turn into fat. It'll do something to the body that, you know, doesn't need to. So might store it, you might not even use it, but you're overflowing that funnel. So just kind of think about that. You don't want to overdo it on food with one sitting, unless you're like a person that fasts, but you're fasting on purpose and you know what you're doing. But yeah, just kind of use this right here to help you figure out how much meat, grains, and veggies you're gonna use, or how many times a day you're gonna eat. So in this example, if I'm doing 20 grams of protein per meal, and I have 120 grams of protein I have to eat, that's let's see, what do I do? Divided by 20. That would mean you would eat 6 times. You know what I mean? But 6 times of protein, not 6 times of everything else, because the grams of it's about the same, 6 grams of carbs. But every time you eat, you will raise your insulin levels. So just kind of keep that in mind. Either uptake the amount of protein on your meals, so you have bigger meals, especially if you're eating less time in a day, or eat more times during the day. I can't technically say that. What's up, G? Would asking when you at I gotta take my dad in a little bit, bro. But just kind of use this thing of not everybody's body's the same. So maybe you could try both. You know, try to eat all those times in the day and see if you lose weight, gain weight, or where you're at. If there's no changes, like within I say like the second month, you see no changes, you're either gaining weight or you're not changing, then I guess you could do the different one. So try out 6 meals a day. That doesn't work out for you, try the smaller meals but more portion sizing. So go about it that way and see how that helps. As far as this goes, this is still the same. This doesn't change. What changes is here, how much of the food you need. This is based off for 6 different meals for a specific individual that weighs 160 pounds. So it's generalized. Your weight is different. So that would mean you might eat bigger meals or smaller meals or less meals or more meals. So just kind of keep that in mind, you know. This is the harder part of figuring out how much you need of what. But at least I covered what we needed to, which is how to come up with your meal plan options, and then how to break it, how to get the grocery amounts that are correct. This way you don't overdo it and underdo it. So just remember that. If you want to try the whole multiple meals a day, cool. Base it off of this. If you want to try less meals a day, but higher amounts, go for it. Let me know how it goes. But don't forget, I appreciate. First off, appreciate you guys coming by and checking me out. Second, if you missed today's live, come back on. What's today? Wednesday. So come back on Friday for the other episode of this Road to Fitness podcast. If you liked my content and you think it helped, let me know. Give me a like, a comment, a share, a follow, subscription, whatever. I appreciate you. And I will